everyone, this is Kathryn Jankowski with another review on Real Talk. Thursday night I went and I saw Black Panther. This movie is one of the most highly anticipated Marvel movies ever. It's projected to gross $175 million within just this opening weekend. Black Panther is Marvel's first film having an African-American director. What? That's crazy. It is about time. So when the trailer came out, I was like, oh my gosh, look at this amazing cast. Lupita Nyong'o, Angela Bassett, Daniel Kaluuya, Michael B. Jordan. Me and the rest of the world were really excited about this movie just because of the awesome cast. This movie is different from any other superhero movie I have ever seen. It was honestly a breath of fresh air to not watch New York City get blown to bits in the ending fight scene. And I'm just like, how are they gonna rebuild that? I really liked how Marvel took a more serious tone with this movie opposed to the more comedic elements that they've been bringing into their other movies like Thor Ragnarok or Deadpool. Not that this movie doesn't have any comedic elements, because there are some really humorous parts, but they're placed so well within the script that the overall tone is more serious with some light comedic moments. This movie takes a lot of social responsibility, so it is important that the message gets across without them sounding condescending. The cinematography was so beautiful. There is this one scene where the entire community of Wakanda is standing on this mountain in their beautiful costumes. Costumes were amazing. And the shot was recurring, which really gave you an idea. This community that's dancing in their vibrant colored costumes are really a very tight-knit, vibrant community. It really gives you a sense of what kind of place Wakanda is. There was another really well executed upside down shot that happened when the new king became king and everyone was kind of like, I don't know about this guy. I thought it was interesting because it was like the world was turning upside down, and I thought that was a really well used shot there. I feel like the upside down shot can be misused. I thought that it was really well used at this point in the movie. Oh, the fight scenes. The fight scenes were so raw. You really felt like you were there. The guy sitting next to me actually started cheering on T'Challa, or the Black Panther. And the woman power, hello? The entire army of Wakanda is made up of all female warriors. Lupita Nyong'o's character jumps out of the van, she jumps out, and she kicks everybody's butt. It's awesome. And again with the costuming, these female warriors were in actual warrior attire. As for the music, thank you Kendrick Lamar, all the amazing artists that were on that album. They really helped make the movie even more empowering for African Americans than it already was. If you haven't listened to the album yet, it is so worth your time. Please give it a listen. And they didn't use all the songs in the movie, but the songs that they did use were placed so well within the action. Just this slight tribal percussion with a mix of hip hop in the background of certain scenes, it really added to the scene rather than taking away. There are a lot of parallels in this movie, like a lot. The most important one in my opinion was this conversation that happened between T'Challa, the Black Panther, and Daniel Kaluuya's character, Wakabi. They oppose each other on the question of whether or not to let immigrants into Wakanda. We should help all of these people. They need help. We have the technology, we have the resources, and we're keeping them all to ourselves. Isn't that a little selfish? And then Wakabi's like, well, if immigrants come in, they bring their problems with them. Sounds a little familiar, I think. 2018 America is glaringly represented in a movie that is set in a fantasy world. Killmonger's character, who's the villain, he took a really interesting role in this movie. Director Ryan Coogler said it best in an interview. He said, "The fracture Killmonger has is a fracture he had lived with his whole life, being from a place he had never been to." This movie really takes an in-depth look into the identity of African Americans and how their true identities have been oppressed in America for hundreds of years because of slavery, racism, and prejudice, and overall oppression of African Americans. Well, I think it's pretty obvious that I am super into this movie. This superhero movie goes deeper into what is behind the mask of the Black Panther and the hardships of being a leader. It really connects us to his character. T'Challa teaches us throughout the movie that it's okay to be emotional and vulnerable and still be an amazing leader for your people. Throughout the movie, he is constantly being selfless and trying to help others. That is a true hero in the Marvel universe, but it's also a true hero in our universe. I rate this movie a 5 out of 5, which is, I mean, extremely generous. I really didn't have any major problems with it. It wasn't, I'm not a huge superhero movie fan. I still go see them and I enjoy them, but this one in particular tells a different story than any other superhero movie I've ever seen. It's not a question of whether or not you will like it, but it is a question whether or not you will love it. This has been another movie review on Real Talk. Please check back in with the IDS next week for another movie review.